Hey guys, today I am going to be talking about Poshmark 102. So if you already watched the first Poshmark video, you've already kind of seen what I went over from Poshmark 101, the basics. And then I said I would film another video that would talk about shipping and all of those fun facts about Poshmark. So I am going to give you a sneak peek at my office, and this is basically my office and my shipping station and everything. So that way you can see what I do when I get an item that sells. So the first thing that I want to do is show you, I just listed this item and within 5 minutes it was sold on eBay, and it's a super retro vintage Adidas, you can't really, it's an Adidas like track jacket. It's made in Germany. It's wool blend. It's not like a real, regular track jacket from the 70s. And it didn't sell for a lot, but I didn't pay a lot, so I'm not really too worried about it. I'm just glad it sold. So this item in particular, I think if you've watched a lot of my videos, I use these envelopes here that are Ziploc, and I use them primarily because I know they will fit in the padded flat rate envelope. And so what I do with the padded flat rate envelopes on eBay, I know this is kind of talking about eBay too, but on eBay I charge $6.99 instead of the $7.20. It's kind of a mind game with buyers and me myself. I would rather spend $6.99 on shipping than $7.20. And actually on eBay you only end up spending $6.50 with your, I have a store, so I get a store discount. But anyway, I digress back to Poshmark. So this item sold on eBay, and normally I would use a padded flat rate envelope for these, but because if this was selling on Poshmark, you cannot use padded flat rate envelopes. So if you follow me over here, let me see if I can zoom in. Can I do that? Okay, if you follow me over here, you will see I have a whole shipping station here. So these are simply IKEA bookshelves that I have turned into like storage walls, and each shelf has a different purpose. So up here are all of the poly mailers, and these are the plain ones that I order and the priority mail poly mailers. These are all my eBay bubble mailers. So these are not padded flat rate, but these are bubble mailers that I bought from eBay. You can see those here. I'll show you. So these are the bubble mailers that are the eBay supplies. And then if you go down here, these boxes are the ones that these just pop open, and they have a pull tab here. You just rip the tab and seal it. Oops, sorry. My dog's below me. You just rip the tab and seal them. And there's two sizes of those. So I have both sizes, the smaller and the big ones. And then I have these priority mailing boxes that are, they're square, but you also have to tape these up. So these you just open up like that, and then you tape them up like a normal box. But I also have the eBay versions of these. So if I'm shipping something that's not priority mail, maybe it's, I don't know, maybe it's a lightweight thing that I just, like a hat that I'm gonna stick in here. That would be less than a pound, but I don't want it to get smashed, so I would use one of these boxes. And then these, in this box here, I haven't figured out what I'm gonna do with them, but they are the larger priority mailing boxes. Up here, I also have labels on here, so this shelf is the not Poshmark shelf. So I have a woman that helps me in the morning. She's also my dog walker. She's amazing, but she helps me ship when I have a lot of stuff to get going. So this is how she remembers this whole section up here are regional box A's and padded flat rate envelopes. So I do not use those on Poshmark. These are shoe boxes. And then these are just random miscellaneous Amazon Prime boxes that I have saved for my own purchases. And I keep them here. And then these are the bags that I store my stuff in. And I have all my stickers and then random tissue paper, and then there's just some random stuff there. So let's run through it. The person, let's pretend they bought this let's pretend they bought this on Poshmark. So they bought this item. Like I talked about in the last video, you're gonna wanna wait 3 hours before you ship it. They have 3 hours to cancel their order. So you wanna make sure you don't send this out immediately and then they cancel it and now they get the item and you're kind of shit out of luck there. So you wanna do that. Then what I would do is if it's anything under 5 pounds and it's something easy like a sweatshirt, I throw them in these USPS poly mailers. You can get these at the post office. You can order a giant thing of them online, but they are just the Tyvek priority mail envelopes, and you simply stick that in there. Then I use, I don't know if I have the box anymore. I use sticky shipping labels. So these are there's 2 labels here, and they print on one side and then the other side. What I have found, my trick for Poshmark and shipping is I have to make sure that you turn it landscape, and then you also want to make sure that when you go to print it, I use Firefox or Safari, not Chrome, and I change my size to 80%. So I don't have any to show you right now, but you're gonna see that it doesn't take up the whole thing. It only takes up about this much, and I don't really care. I just want them to be able to get to be able to scan the label. So you pop the item in the bag, you stick the label on here, and then you send it. Now, what I started to do, because I was having problems with our post office, what my post office here in Virginia told me is that they are not required to scan any items until they're delivered. So what I was doing is taking them to the post office after hours and dumping them in the bins. Well, what was happening was they weren't getting registered into Poshmark for a couple days until they were scanned in as delivered, and then it was, you know, looking like I didn't ship the item when really they were gone. Plus, I have no proof that I actually shipped them. So what I ended up doing is having my dog walker, she goes over there, I ship Monday, Wednesday, and Friday mornings, and she drops them all off in the afternoon and handles it for me, and I don't have to worry about it. Now, there are just some really easy things about Poshmark. One, you truly can use any box to ship stuff in. I have taken a shoe box with shoes in it, so I sold the shoes that were in the box, and I did not have a box to fit them. Like, for the life of me, I didn't have, it just wouldn't fit. It was an odd shaped box. So you know what I did? I took Trader Joe's grocery bags, you know, the brown ones, and I cut them up like I was in high school again, covering my books, book covers, and I just shipped it like that. I taped it all up, taped the corners really nice, made sure nothing was showing, made sure the shoes were wrapped in tissue paper on the inside, and slapped the sticker on it and sent it on its way. And it made there safely, and it was perfectly fine. The other thing I have done in the past is get free boxes, and one of the there's a couple places you can get free boxes. Number one, I am a consumer at probably all of these little shops down here in my neighborhood, but particularly I spend most of my time at the Cherry Blow Dry Bar. So shout out to Cherry Blow Dry Bar. This is my 3-day post blowout, 2 pool trips, working out. Still looks pretty good. Anyway, that's my shout out, my plug for them. But they have all sorts of boxes, and so she will give them to me before they take them out to the dumpster, and then I usually just stack them on the sides here. The second place, if you need bigger boxes, Walmart. They are super duper cheap at Walmart. This box right here, don't hold me to it, but I think this giant small box here was like 68 cents or 69 cents. So Walmart is a great resource for boxes. I was going to Target, and there's a Home Depot by me, and they're a couple dollars a piece, but 69 cents, I mean, you really can't beat that price. Well, you can, but you have to buy them wholesale. And so get free boxes from other people. You can buy them cheap at Walmart. Like I collect Amazon Prime boxes, so you can see pretty much any Amazon Prime box we get, I keep and I put it somewhere in our house. And that way I have a bunch of random assortment of sizes of boxes. Now, what I need to buy, I bought a bunch of canisters and ceramic stuff. I need to get some of the bubble tape or bubble wrap. So that I'll have to figure out where to add. I might put it up in one of those cubbies up there. And all right, so we went through boxes. The priority mail boxes you can order from the USPS website. They do take about a week to get to you, so if you need them right away, you're gonna have to wait. So I always order 25 at a time, and sometimes, right now I know I'm going through padded flat rate envelopes quite a bit, and that's because I've been selling a lot of stuff on eBay for that $6.99 that I was telling you about earlier. So I've been rocking through those like crazy, and I've actually had to order them a couple days just so I have a whole stockpile of them for when things start picking up in August. Let's see what else. The other thing I like to do is when I ship an item, I try to go into Poshmark and let the person know that I'm shipping their item. So I will let them know, hey, thanks for your purchase. I ship on Wednesday morning, so plan on having the tracking uploaded by Wednesday afternoon. That way people know that it's in the mail. They don't have to kind of wait for it. And I think it just elevates your level of customer service because I don't see a lot of other people doing that. So that's something that you can kind of do to amplify your store and to stand out from the rest. Now, when I ship my items, I ship them just like this. I ship them in my plastic bags. They have the label on them of exactly what they are, and I said this in a number of in my videos, I ship a decent amount of stuff 3 days a week where I don't have time to do free gifts and wrap and do tissue paper and thank you cards and all of that stuff. To me, I'm buying an item on Poshmark because I want that particular item in that particular, condition. So if I'm buying your jeans from you, I want your jeans to be whatever you say they are and arrive to me within a timely manner. I don't care about anything else. So for me, I take all the pictures, the measurements, I list them online, I immediately put them in these bags, and this is how they get stored. So I have another one, this is a blouse, same thing, it's going in here. I have a pair of shoes, same thing, it's in the plastic bag. Now, if they can't fit in the plastic bag, like I've said before, they hang in one of my closets. Nicer stuff, like dresses, more expensive things go in my personal closet, and the winter coats just hang in our regular closet with our winter coats. In our utility closet, which is where I have all of our storage, and I will try to take you over there to show you how I have that laid out, but that will show you where all my bins are, how I have those laid out, and just kind of how I do things in there. It's really not a big space. We have a 2-bedroom apartment. My closet is filled with my stuff. My husband's closet is in here in the office, and everywhere else there's some part of my business. You can guarantee you can find it everywhere in our apartment. So it's really just about getting creative and finding the space. I have found that these IKEA bookcases are ideal. So down in the bottom of the cases down there, I do sell some books and some other random things on eBay, or things that I don't want to get broken, and I'm able to store them in those containers under there. And that way I just have a dedicated space for them and I don't really have to worry about them. And that is pretty much it. For shipping, just make sure if you're shipping, what was I just gonna say? If you're shipping, if you're gonna ship shoes, people have asked me about shoes. So with shoes, you can use the priority mail shoe box, right? So you can use that. Don't just throw the shoes in there. Now, I said I don't wrap it up real nice and put bows on it and stuff like that. But if there are a pair of nice shoes and I do want them to arrive there on time and that box is bigger than the shoes, I do wrap them up with some kind of tissue paper and make sure that they don't get damaged during shipping. There's nothing worse than having something arrive on your door and get damaged during shipping because you didn't do what you were supposed to do when you shipped it. So really don't cheap out on your shipping products because it really is not going to be in the best interest. for you, because then you're going to get, you know, complaints and return requests and stuff like that. And I really want people to love their item and come back and buy more from me, which is what I'm starting to get a lot more lately, especially on Poshmark and eBay. So the tape, one more thing, I didn't mention this. I bought these, and I just bought this eBay stuff in bulk. It's just eBay packaging tape. You can buy, I think I threw out my last, I had the red, you know, the Scott 3M whatever, or the duct tape stuff. You can use whatever tape you want. Don't use Scotch tape to tape a shipping box. It's not gonna hold it. If you have something that's your shipping that you don't want to get wet, put it in a plastic bag, wrap it up somehow. You know, you don't want someone's package sitting on their door in the rain and they get it and their whole thing is soaking wet, which is another reason why I love these, because if something happens to the package, the bag, it gets torn in transit or left on a doorstep, I know it can rain all day on these and I'm not gonna have to worry about my item getting damaged. So that is, you know, one important thing to think about. As far as Poshmark is concerned, for weight, the only thing you have to worry about is when the items are over 5 pounds. I actually have never sold anything that was over 5 pounds. Now, if you do sell something that is over 5 pounds, you have to buy additional postage from Poshmark, which you can get on the Poshmark app. It'll through the item where it says it's sold, and you're gonna print the shipping label. There's also an option to purchase additional shipping on there. Now, I just have this cheapy scale I bought on Amazon, and it weighs up to 50 pounds. It's very cheap. If you don't wanna buy a scale because you don't think you're gonna sell a lot of stuff and you're only doing Poshmark, that's totally fine. Just take your item to the post office if you think that it might be more than 5 pounds, or if you have a scale in your bathroom that you trust, you know, you can use that. Now note, some post offices are more rigid than others, and ours checks it to the ounce. So I know if my item is 16.1 or 6.1 ounces, that I have to say it's 7 ounces on eBay, because they will ask me for 1 ounce of additional postage or whatever. It's ridiculous. So I always round up when it comes to weights. So if your item is 5 pounds and 2 ounces, you might want to consider just making sure you cover all your bases and taking care of that. Keep that in mind when you are selling large bundles of shoes or purses or those kind of things, because really that's where you start to get into items that are over 5 pounds, and that's when you start to have to buy extra shipping, and that's when you have to eat that cost, and that's when it gets really tricky. So you want to make sure that that's taken care of. I think I covered everything as far as shipping. I'm trying to think off the top of my head if anybody else has asked me any questions. You can also get these if you're shipping in non-priority mail packaging. You can get these stickers, and they are priority mail packaging, just so you know they know that it's there. I also have fragile stickers. A tip that I've learned on Instagram is to write glass all over, fragile glass. Seems to be that they take more care of it when you say glass than when it's just a fragile item. So that is really something to keep in mind as well. All right, well, I hope this gives you kind of an insight as to, you know, how I keep everything. I will write in the comments below, or maybe I'll do a blog post. I'll either do a blog post or I'll comment below all of the stuff we just talked about and the shipping things for that. So remember, this is just shipping for Poshmark. Don't use flat rate envelopes. Don't use regional boxes. Don't use flat rate boxes, because you might get it back and it is more hassle than it really is worth. You can use whatever you want to ship it with, as long as it gets there safe and sound and in the condition that you said it is. I think that you're in good shape. For the longest time, I printed them out just on pieces of paper and I taped it up on the envelopes. So I would just tape it onto here. If you're just getting started, there's really nothing wrong with that. It's just a way to, you know, test the waters and see what you want to do. I mean, these are kind of annoying. The ink gets everywhere. I'm just not interested in buying one of those thermal label printers right now. It's just not something I want to spend 200 bucks on. that's about it. I am the Bexa Boss Lady, and I have Boss Lady Resale, are my stores everywhere. My links are below. Make sure you subscribe. I'm gonna do more videos in the next coming weeks to help you out so you can all make money too on the side, and I can make it hopefully easier for all of you. So I appreciate it. As always, thank you for watching, and have a great afternoon. Bye.